Police say when they arrived here on scene, they found 18-year-old Michaela Brady shot to death. Well, Jessica, this is what people are dealing with at this hour. Still large tree limbs down on the ground and power outages. According to Duke Energy, still 1,500 people in Hamilton County without power. 2 people have been shot. One of those individuals shot by police. I want to give you a live look of what is happening behind me as this investigation in this scene is still very much alive. What we are hearing in that 911 call is those friends frantically trying to save their friend's life. Fire crews here are actually cleaning up right now, but just 2 hours ago, there's a duplex down on Prosperity Place that was fully engulfed with flames. And
Cory, what's at the center of this battle?
Well, Amy, believe it or not, the center of this battle is this ice cream cone behind me. The owners here at the Creamy Whip put it up earlier this month. The first thing that crews here at the Kentucky Speedway need to do is clean up after yesterday's storm. Take a look at this aluminum pole that I'm holding. You can just see how strong some of the winds were yesterday that blew through here. Reds fans can come out here between 9:30 and 1:30 today and say, you know what? I like the view from this seat. Oh, you know what? I think this seat over here might be a little bit better. The bottom line is the Reds need some wins. It's August. They're in the race for the NL Central. Currently, they're 5.5 games back from the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they have a 3-game series, a huge series with the St. Louis Cardinals. And welcome to the Fox 19 Weekend Morning News. I'm Cory Stark, in for Dan Wells this morning.
And I'm Jessica Brown, and happy St. Patty's Day. We've got our green on.
We do.
Celebrating things all Irish today. We have some Celtic dancers in studio.
It's been very festive in here. It's really bringing my St. Patrick's energy alive today.
Yeah?
I feel festive.
Good. Feeling a little Irish?
The green's good.
Thank you. So it's
try to rock a little green. Katie, unfortunately, can't wear green because of the green screen. Breaking news into the newsroom right now. We have learned that there's an explosion at the Duke Energy Center. We don't know how that explosion happened at this time. We just know that it's important. There are no injuries. Fire and police are on the scene. Several blocks around the Duke Energy Center are shut down. Well, here's something to do this morning. Go to your computer, type the words completely wrong into a Google search, and see what pops up for images. A slew of photos of Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney. A fire truck is out of service in Miami Township after a car smashes into it while at the scene of an accident. The accident was on 275 near the Ward's Corner exit. Do you remember this? Bengals Domata Peko doing Gangnam Style during the Bengals Jacksonville game. South Korean pop star Psy's Gangnam Style is everywhere.
It is, and now the dance is making its way from the world of music to the world of sports.
Yeah.
Always, everywhere.
Love it. I love the dance. CNN's Mark McKay explains. Police are investigating a single-car fatal crash in Stone Lick Township this morning. Police say 38-year-old Elizabeth Jasper from Batavia was driving east on US 50 near Pattison Park around 9 last night. Runners across America are making sure the sound of sneakers hitting the pavement is louder than the bombs in Boston.
For most runners, they're going to be defiant and determined to take back the streets.
Jane Mays is one of those determined runners. Last Monday's Boston Marathon was the second for Mays and her 15th marathon overall. She was only a half-mile away from the finish line before the bombs went off.
What are your emotions now when you do run? Are they different than before?
Not too different. You know, my thoughts are with the victims and how, unfortunately, some of them, it'll be a struggle for them to run ever again. They'll have to relearn to walk.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful that I wasn't a part of all that happened on Boylston.
Monday, thousands of runners will run 1/10 of the distance of a marathon, 2.62 miles. Bob Ronker's running spot is hosting 4 of those runs.
The first explosion occurred right in front of Marathon Sport, which is a specialty running store, retail store. And so basically all the specialty running stores got together and wanted to do this kind of combined effort to show support.
And there is no doubt the nation is Boston strong. And the conversation I had was with an exempt organization specialist who says there was never any intent to target conservative groups applying for tax-exempt status. Last week, acting IRS Commissioner Stephen Miller said 2 rogue IRS employees were responsible for targeting conservative groups in 2012, something the IRS admitted to. But the exempt organization specialist I spoke with exclusively says that statement by Miller is not true, and even smirked when I asked about Miller's comments. The IRS worker says an exempt organization specialist's job is to ask questions to those applying for 501c4 tax-exempt status, but there was never any intent to target conservative groups, and the worker says this is not the conspiracy some are making it up to be. I also asked about the BOLO, or be on the lookout list.
There was a BOLO for Tea Party, but not a BOLO for Move On or Progressive.
I'm not in a position to give you a definitive response on that question at this time, Mr. Issa.
The IRS worker says employees add to the list all the time. The worker also said to have had several conversations with Cindy Thomas, the exempt organization determinations program manager, but wouldn't detail those conversations, just saying, quote, Thomas was the person a couple levels above me. This worker I talked with hopes this whole thing blows over and hopes the truth comes out in Washington that the lower level workers aren't responsible for any wrongdoings. In the studio tonight, Cory Stark, Fox 19 Balance News.